How to make a pinch pot. Before you begin making a pinch pot, you will need to take a piece of clay that is already wedged with no air bubbles inside of it. It will have corners on it, but we need to make it round. To make it round, we use the palms of our hands. The clay should not touch the table. Keep rotating the mass of clay, and every time we see something that's pointy, tap it down. Notice how my fingertips have not touched the clay yet. Once you're finished turning it into a ball of clay, stop touching it. The more you touch it on the outside, the drier it gets, which makes it harder to work with. To add a little bit of color to your piece, take a little tiny piece of white clay, or something different colored, and tap it down on the outside of this ball of clay. I like to take little tiny pieces and make them into circles and create a pattern on one side of the ball. You can also take the little tiny pieces and roll them into stripes of clay. Once you are finished creating a pattern, take the palm of your hand and tap the pieces in. I want these white pieces to stay on the side of my piece. So before I start to drill my thumb through the center, I'm going to hold those pieces on the side. To start to open the piece into a pinch pot, I like to spin the clay and hold my thumb in one place and begin to drive my thumb into the very top to create a divot. If I were to cut this in half right now, it would look like this. Then keep turning the ball and driving your thumb down towards the bottom. Go down as far as you can without poking your thumb through the other side. Your thumb should be mostly covered by the piece if you hold it up like this. And if I were to cut this open, it would look something like this, just a little bit of clay at the bottom. Now to open the ball of clay into a cup or bowl, you will need to be able to pinch something like this. I am using my forefinger and my middle finger pressing against my thumb. Notice how they are flat together. I reach my thumb down as deep as I can go, and my fingers down, and now I am pinching the bottom part of this open. I keep spinning and squeezing just a little bit, and now my thumb can wiggle inside of it. If I were to open up the piece, now there is a space for my thumb to wiggle. It looks like an upside down light bulb. I've opened the bottom of the piece up. I am now going to open the middle of the piece up. So my thumb is in the middle of this clay ball, and my fingers are going to slide down to the middle as well. And I spin and pinch gradually, trying to make sure that it grows at the same rate. If I feel something is very thick, I'm going to pinch it. If I feel something a little bit thinner, I'm not going to pinch it. Now the bottom and the middle of the piece are open, but there's still a lot of clay at the very top or the rim of the cup. Now the last place I'm going to pinch is the top or the rim of the cup. I raise my thumb towards the top and my fingers towards the top, and it's the same process. I spin and I give a pinch each time and let the rim grow gradually. Now if we were to cut the cup in half, it should look something like this. The walls are even all the way throughout. It's still a little bit on the chunky side. I can stretch it and make it a little bit thinner and a little bit wider or a little bit taller, just by repeating the process over and over again. So to make the piece a little bit taller and a little bit skinnier, I reach my thumb and fingers all the way down to the bottom, spin and pinch, and then to the middle, spin and pinch, and then back to the top and spin and pinch. It is very difficult to control the clay to make it do exactly what you want. More times than not, a lot of these pieces turn out to be flat or more of a bowl shape. So when you're doing this for the first time, try to pull the clay upward and strive for a cup form first. The top rim of the cup may start to have crackulature on the very top of it. If that starts to happen, you can just rub your finger on top of it and they will eventually go away. If the clay is getting extremely dry, you may use 1 drop of water on top of your piece. If you are to add too much water to your piece, it will get destroyed and turn into a big pile of mud, and we don't want that. If you intend to drink out of it someday, pay close attention to the very rim of the cup because you want that to be very smooth to make it easy to drink out of someday.